Hey, hey, hey. Time for another out of this world story from rSpace. What is it that makes us want to stay with our cheating partners after a betrayal? Why do we want to continuously shoot ourselves in the foot? Why do we want to subject ourselves to that sort of pain? Today on rSpace, you owe it to yourself to be free. Up first, a coward's way out. My, female 28, fiance, female 30, cheated on me. I discovered it 12 days before our wedding. My fiance and I have been together for 10 years. We had plans to get married back in 2020, but COVID hit and prevented us from doing that. In June of 2021, we got legally married and saved the big party for August 2022, hoping COVID would calm down by then. We live in France. Over the past year, I've been dealing with a lot of stress. I switched jobs. We ran into some financial issues because our dog was getting sick every 2 weeks. We had just bought an apartment together, and I was taking care of the wedding pretty much entirely on my own. I begged for her help multiple times, but she refused to get involved or would make efforts for a few days and just drop it after. This caused us to get into a lot of fights, but no one ever talked about ending the relationship. Fast forward to 12 days before the wedding. I had been wanting to get her phone for a while to get her sister's phone number and prepare a surprise for her at the wedding, as she only had 2 people from her family coming. She's an American. That is when I discovered the messages. She gave me her phone one night and had left the text messages up on purpose to be sure I would see it, as she told me she wasn't brave enough to tell me herself. I discovered that she had been sleeping with a girl from her job since June of 2022, right after our 1 year of being legally married. It happened multiple times in July as well. She had even planned a few days of vacation with that girl when she would be away from me for a few days in mid-August. She had invited the girl in our home to spend the night before heading to a spa. I even discovered she did a day trip while I was at work one day in July, when she was supposed to be taking care of her paperwork to stay in the country. Needless to say, I am shattered. I don't know what to do next, as I just can't erase my feelings for her and our 10 years together. Any advice? Edit. We had a talk yesterday. She apologized by telling me everything I did wrong and why I pushed her to do this. Turns out she was only really talking to that girl for 2 weeks before meeting up and cheating on me. She then proceeded to send nudes and videos of herself and meet with her again 2 more times. I started packing her stuff this morning, changed my passwords, and kicked her off of Netflix and such. Going to start divorce process this afternoon. Still can't believe this is happening. I'm truly shattered. Sailor Chibi chimes in from the audience. Oof, I'm sorry. I hate to jump right to Reddit's traditional breakup, but I don't think that's something I personally could come back from. Knowing she cheated on you the whole time you're married, and that she was actively distancing herself from your wedding, strongly suggests she's mentally and emotionally already left you. She just was too much of a coward to actually do it. At the very least, cancel the wedding. How could you have a big party knowing what she's done? The OP replies, the party has been canceled indeed. No way I could stand up there and read my vows knowing all this. I also think she is done, but I need her to say it, and she keeps saying she doesn't want to leave. I will never understand why people just can't take responsibility for their own actions. Why place the blame? It's such a cop-out. You didn't force their hand or lips on this other person. They knowingly made these decisions and knew how badly it would hurt you. I completely understand being shattered. She totally wrecked you. Her actions are inexcusable. I'm so sorry, OP. You did nothing wrong. Please know that. Update. It's officially done. After 10 years together, 1 married, we are officially broken up. My wayward wife decided it was more important to see the affair partner than me. So I put an end to the pick-me dance. I have blocked her everywhere and wrote her a final letter for her to look at when she comes back to reality. It disgusts me to know she threw everything away for someone 7 years younger than her, who still lives with her parents, has a low-paying job, and lives all the way across the country. I worked so hard to offer us an incredible future, filled with happiness and life. She crushed everything and treated me like garbage. I am broken and relieved. I feel like I won't survive this, but also will come out stronger. It is a strange feeling. Strict Pin 5045 from the community responds, be careful because she will be back. Her new relationship is not realistic. Move on. Honestly, if she's unable to take responsibility for her actions, it means she lacks serious emotional intelligence and has yet to face her own demons. She has issues, and you don't need her or that baggage. Guarantee she's trying to live a life without responsibility and repercussions and thinks that a woman 7 years younger than her will give her that spicy, carefree life. Things always catch up to everyone. She can't run forever. It will all come crashing down for her, and eventually she'll have to face the spotlight. What are your thoughts on this? Why do you think OP's ex can't take responsibility for her actions? Up next, it takes 2 to tango. I roll my eyes whenever people feel the need to defend the affair partners who knew that they were in an affair. It never fails. Whenever I come across a cheating story amongst social media, Reddit, Facebook, TikTok, etc., there's always not just one person, but multiple people who want to play devil's advocate and comment things like, "The other man wasn't the one who made a vow. They don't owe the betrayed partner. It's 100% the cheater's fault." Having been cheated on a year ago, I, 25 female, remember crying and venting to family and friends about my cheating ex, 27 male, and they consoled me. However, once I started expressing anger about the affair partner, 25 female, because she knew about me for a whole 2 years, my sister and friend were too quick to remind me that she wasn't the one who cheated on me, so I should be focusing all my blaming energy on my ex. For me personally, it's so freaking invalidating to be slapped on the wrist for saying that my ex and his affair partner are both pieces of crap, just so people can feel like humanitarians of the year. And here's my thing. Love is a spiritual connection. We make vows and commitments in the name of love, declaring that we want to spend the rest of our lives with someone we deeply care about. It's natural to find meaning and purpose in a human connection that you want to honor and have faith in. So when your partner is unfaithful and shatters that purpose you have found in them, it's one of the worst feelings ever. And when the person they cheated with is aware of your existence, it can hurt even more so because this complete stranger was okay with invading your safe space without your permission and was okay with willingly joining in with your wayward spouse to trample on what was supposed to be your safe haven. You feel like a goddamn joke. This may seem irrelevant, but I promise you, I'm trying to make a point. I remember from my anthropology class, I was required to visit a religious community that differed from my own beliefs. Being Christian, I chose to visit a local Buddhist temple for 2 weekends, and they warmly welcomed me. It would be a pompous thought to even think that just because I'm Christian, I don't owe it to another religion to follow their rules on their sacred grounds. So I took off my shoes before entering their temple. I meditated with their community where it was just sitting together in silence for a whole 40 minutes followed by chanting. I ate with them afterwards. Although it was very different from my own religious structure that I practiced, I ensured that I educated myself and adhered to their conceptual constructs since I was entering their premise, because it was the respectful thing to do. And that's how I feel about an affair partner knowing that they're intruding on someone else's relationship. Just because I was welcomed in, I didn't waltz into the Buddhist temple and trample on their sacred grounds with my dirty shoes acting like I owned the place just because I believed in something different. Of course not. So it doesn't matter to me if the affair partner claims they're naive or if they believe they're in love or that the wayward spouse said that they're going to leave their partner for them. To my ex's affair partner, save the sob story on how my cheating ex manipulated you too. Because unless someone was holding a gun to your head, you had the utmost capability of walking away or saying no. If someone is welcoming you to a "we're just friends talking, no one has to know" arrangement, and you know that it's going to turn into something else, then just walk away out of respect to the real victim, the betrayed partner or spouse. And trust me, I had so many unkind words to say about my ex to his face and to others. Now this is what I want to say for all the times that people had the audacity to defend the affair partner in front of my face when I had the courage to share my story and voice valid negative feelings about them. Yes, the affair partner did not owe it to me for my partner to be faithful to me, and that's on him. But as a grown freaking adult, she owed it to me to be respectful of the boundaries that were automatically set in place once he told her that he does have a long-term girlfriend of 7 years. And that's the bottom line. 1 + 1 = 2, not 3. It is that effing simple to understand. Edit. Thanks for everyone's feedback. I wrote this letter after going down a rabbit hole into the comments for the Adam Levine scandal and was heated, obviously. But a lot of people had great points that challenged my own, yet I'm glad others could relate to my message as well under the unfortunate circumstances. Hugs to everyone, and I hope you all continue onwards. A couple community thoughts. Brooke Trout 523 says, "Very nicely put. I agree with you. I hold my soon-to-be ex-wife's affair partner accountable fully. He knew she was married, and he actually knows me as well. Anyone who knowingly steps into another person's marriage is human garbage. They were responsible for the destruction of my marriage and our family dynamic." Knight's End 2 has this to say, "Are affair partners as bad as wayward? No. Are knowing and willing affair partners still pieces of doo-doo? Yes." Humor OK 7072 says, "Exactly that. I hate that home-wrecking whore so much she knew he was married, and she did it anyway. They have no self-respect and no dignity or morals. When I found out, I told wayward spouse that she played a part in the destruction of our marriage, does not get to play happy families with my kids. As far as I could see, she had nothing good to teach my kids." I hear you, OP. There's a whole stew of responsibility here with both your ex and affair partner. It's extremely disrespectful for a affair partner to have pursued someone who has a partner. I think they do this because it's the love of the chase. People want what they can't have. It takes two people. Your ex wasn't just kissing himself. Someone had to kiss him back. What are your thoughts? Meanwhile, our last OP can't get these years back. 20 years later, I hope it helps someone. Part of this post was written as a response to the request for advice. I am making it an original post, my first. This is my story. I guess I'm interested in what the men may think a little, but I am really interested in what the women think, the untrustworthy as well as the trusting. Well, it has been 22 years since I caught her. We had counseling. Kids were 13, 11, 8. Me 42, her 39. 14th year of marriage. I was totally destroyed. Still some PTSD today. It was a 6-month affair with her chiropractor employer. Pretty much full disclosure. I stayed to give my kids a better chance at life. That has worked. I will never forgive her. At the time, it was the right choice for me. Too distraught to comprehend the meaning of it all. I'm on this site 22 years later, I think, because I never cut and ran. I still live it. I truly believe that if I had divorced then I would be free today mentally. So looking back, it would have been best for everyone if we divorced then. The kids are 36, 34, and 31 now. Married 37 years. I don't want to do it anymore. I cannot finally look back at any part of this relationship. Dating, early years, later years, nothing. My memories are completely polluted. I don't love her anymore. I don't know if she ever loved me. I can never really believe what she says. I have looked up pathological liar. She fits the description. However, the most part of it is the storytelling. Embarrassing at gatherings. Everyone knows the story is false, but they politely nod and smile. The kids have begun to call her on it. Back then, 2000, the marriage counselor suggested keeping the circle small. That is not confiding in general, hence complicating matters with others' angry opinions. He was primarily interested in saving the present situation for the good of all the affected. I could see that. There was no violence, alcohol, or drugs in the marriage. As far as I know, this was her first time. But as some of you know, I will always wonder, won't I? I felt like a total failure. I kept it to myself out of embarrassment. I think she is staying due to security reasons. Her parents had this also, but it was the father, not the mother. My parents were church every Sunday. It is time for me to open this with my children. Staying in a marriage, while an honorable thing for some, can have some very bad unintended results. Yes, they have been educated and have started families of their own, but have they observed years of a skewed marriage and taken that as normal? That answer must be a resounding yes. Let's get some community thoughts. First from Sin0289. Reconciliation is a gift from the betrayed that can be given and taken away at any time. You did your part. You stayed to give your kids a good life at the expense of your happiness and mentality. So now it's time to think and act for yourself. Armor Teague 227 says, this here. To OP, you've done your time. You've raised your kids to be happy and productive. You owe your wife nothing more. It's time to take care of you. You've made so many sacrifices. It's time to start living again, bud. Your kids will understand. These changes will be big challenges for you, having spent your life with this other person that has rewarded your love with infidelity. But you can break from this. You owe it to yourself. Your life is not over. Free yourself, dude. Your watch has ended. Aha, no you didn't, has a thought. Holy crap, you stayed until they were in their 30s. Get them all together minus your wife and let them know what's about to go down and why. Now all the anger is gone. It's just understanding that you need. AquaGems27 has one more comment. Your post makes my decision of leaving my cheating husband firm. I haven't found anything to prove that he has done it again. D-Day was 2 years ago, but the trust is completely gone. And your post makes it sound right that staying for children is not a reason to stay. Thank you for your post. My heart breaks for you, OP. I can't understand staying, but it's time to go now. You need to live your life. You don't owe your wife anything. You owe yourself a life worth living and a fulfilling life that you can look back on and be proud of. Now is your time. You did what you felt was right and stayed for the sake of your kids. I think your children will understand that. I surely wouldn't want to see one of my parents stick around just because they were trying to protect me. You have grown freaking children now. They should want what's best for you. And if they don't, then dang, someone didn't raise their kids right. Should OP stay or go? Thank you for joining us today on rSpace. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And while you're at it, please let us know what you thought of today's content. Until next time.